This episode of the Haunting You podcast is brought to you by VFX. Scare, entertain, and promote with VFX products. Learn more at vfxcreates.com.
Coming to you live from the Chamber of Fucker Studios. This is Haunting You. I'm John Schelt.
I'm Keoni Hutton.
Why don't you like French toast?
French toast, superior breakfast, you monster.
We have already had this debate, and I don't want to have it on the podcast again.
We've had
Wait,
similar debates, but I didn't think we'd had the breakfast food debate.
I know you and I have had this debate. I think we did this on the Shenanigans episode that Leslie was not on.
Actually, I wonder, was it just us, John?
It was just us, so Leslie needs a chance to yell at you. So
It might have been just us.
Before we go forward, for our listeners, we're debating breakfast food on this haunted house podcast. But so just so we can set the table, Keoni, how do you feel about French toast?
I am generally opposed.
Do you make your own French toast?
But here's why. I'm generally opposed because French toast tends to end up being wet, and I cannot stand it wet. If it's cooked all the way through so that it's, for lack of a better word, solid, it is acceptable. I will take a waffle or a pancake over a French toast every single time.
So what we did is, I saw
Every
this
single
somewhere,
time.
was the debate we had was put these in order of desirability: pancakes, waffles, French toast. So mine was French toast, waffles, pancakes.
Waffles, pancakes, French toast.
All right, that's legit. I don't think you were here for that one. Weigh in.
French toast, pancakes, waffles.
You're wrong.
Never.
You're wrong.
Never, because I did not have this debate. So therefore, I was correct. Therefore, I am not wrong.
Welcome, everyone, to the Haunting You podcast. And the shenanigans have started early already. It is August. We are less than 100 days from Halloween. We are approximately 7 weeks from opening Sanguine Creek Estates. I'm freaking out. And so the only way to deal with that, because my mind is a little bit broken right now, is just, I was not going to say French toast. No, I was definitely not going to say
You
French
can have like pumpkin French toast. I've seen that, in the fall.
Still wrong.
I can think of worse things for pumpkin.
I can also think of worse things for pumpkin. Like taking my jack-o'-lantern and throwing it in the street at the end of Halloween. That is a much worse fate for a pumpkin than turning into pumpkin French toast. That is a worse fate for a pumpkin.
It really is.
I love pumpkin. I love Spam. The two shall not meet.
Oh, but they could. And you know how?
I'm afraid to ask.
You take the pumpkin. We could do like a small pumpkin, so it's reasonable. You cut out the middle, rip out its guts. You fill the guts with Spam, and then you put a big firecracker in the middle and you light it off.
But I want
So
to
you would be
Spam.
I was going to say, wait, in your scenario, you're destroying the Spam, though.
But then it'll be toasted and flavored with pumpkin.
I don't think
I was in
toasted
favor of
is
destroying
I don't
it.
think toasted is the word there.
Charred.
I would like to also preface this. I'm running on very, very little sleep.
Excellent. We're
I
going
know
to
the feeling.
podcast.
five days.
So
I'm
you
running
get
on.
used to it.
Oh, I know you get used to it. I'm just making sure that, I've set expectations for everybody.
I
I'm
am
a little
also
loopy.
I am also running on little sleep because we picked up the kids from the airport last night, and so I didn't get to bed until midnight. I was up at my normal time, 4:30. So same. Not running on a lot of sleep today.
Not until midnight.
Yep, I flew in last night after concert.
Yeah. What time did you get home?
midnight. I landed at 11. We were home by about
One-ish?
midnight-ish.
Yeah, well,
We
that's
lived
not
really
bad.
close to the airport.
That's true.
In bed by about 12:31.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, but you add that to basically a 1 o'clock bedtime Tuesday night because we went to a concert.
Yep, naturally.
And then Monday night was an early-ish bedtime, but that's because we spent 4.5 hours whale watching.
Sure.
And then Sunday was in...
Where she saw whales, by the way.
Yes, I did.
That's
saw-
sympathy for whale
I
watch.
But
saw
no
several
whale sharks.
No whale sharks, but I did name the our last juvenile whale, humpback whale, after My nephew, per the request,
Yay!
because I could not find a whale shark to do that instead.
Okay, I think they swim a little deeper.
Also, not in the
A little bit.
Atlantic.
Yeah, there's that too.
I mean, it's just one big ocean, really.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
So, and
so-
then before that, I was flying in on a red eye.
Yeah, so a bit of a whirlwind trip there.
It was good though.
Yeah. We also had a bit of a whirlwind trip this weekend. We drove down to Norfolk for a banana ball game. And I have to talk about this experience because I am not exaggerating when I say this is a case study for patron engagement. And I have bought the book written by the creator of the Banana Ball League. And when I've had time to read it and digest it, we are going to discuss it on this podcast. But I have to talk about this event for this event real quick. Les, I don't know if you see my hat. I'm pulling a John tonight.
Mhm.
I'm wearing
Yeah.
a hat. I don't wear hats. I am not a hat person.
And certainly not baseball caps.
No.
Indeed. But I had to wear this tonight because I had to share it with you guys because firefighters with a flaming baseball, like fire axe with a flaming baseball. It's amazing. I love this. So we went to see the firefighters and the party animals play banana ball in Norfolk on Saturday. And it was the most fun baseball game I have ever been at in my life. They have taken all of the crappy parts of baseball, gotten rid of them, and replaced them with things that make the game more engaging, bringing the fans into the game and increasing the pace significantly. They've added, so it generally follows the rules of baseball, but they've modified it in 11 special ways that make the game so much better. I'm just going to hit some high points real quick. Okay. There's a 2-hour time limit. Once the 2-hour time limit is up, no more new innings can start. And like they were very good about keeping to that limit. Batters are not allowed to step out of the batter box. Once you are up at the plate, you are out at the plate and you're either going to hit the ball or strike out. There's nothing in between. Bunting causes an automatic ejection.
I'm heavily in favor of that. Bunting's for cowards.
Batters can steal first base. This played out in a glorious way while we were watching because the pitcher threw the pitch, the catcher missed it, and it went behind him. So the batter took off for first.
That's
Bolted.
brilliant. I
Can
love
that happen
that.
on any
First.
pitch?
Made it to second. They overthrew second. He ran to third. So he got a triple on a steal.
Is
It
that
was amazing.
Can that happen on any pitch or just a ball four?
I mean,
of a
you
walk?
no. Any
Or,
pitch.
sorry,
You
so
it's a steal.
straight-
You can do whatever you want.
says you can steal
You know what?
first, quote
I did-
unquote, on a strike three.
I would
if the
have
ball
to
gets away.
I would have to look more closely into how the rule is phrased to see if you could do it on a strike three. I don't know
You can
that.
do it on a strike three if you swing and miss and the ball gets away from the umpire. You can run to first. They have to throw you out to.
Yeah. Maybe okay, sure. There
That's
are
still
no
pretty
walks. Wait. There are no walks. Walks have been replaced by ball four sprints. After ball four, the batter runs for it, and every player on the fielding team has to touch the ball before they can try to throw him out. Every single player in the field has to touch the ball before they can try to throw the runner out. I loved it. It was great. Foul balls that are caught by a member of the crowd are outs. If it bounces, doesn't count. But if someone catches it out of the air, the batter is out.
The thing I just thought of is you're going to have fans like
Yes.
laying out and dying.
Yes, that is exactly what happened. We had one ball get caught during our game. It is only the 5th time in banana ball history that a member of the crowd has successfully caught a ball. 5 times. They've been doing this for 9 years. I guess 8 years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like it was a blast. On top of that, they do a phenomenal job of crowd engagement. So there is music playing throughout, which was a little bit odd. And honestly, by the end of the night was a little exhausting. Just constant auditory assault, right? but it led to players doing like dances, particularly like, so they play a real baseball game. It is not pre-scripted or anything else, but they have preset moments set up for the game. So like if a player gets beamed by a pitch, they have a whole routine based around it that they can execute when it happens. Or if a run gets scored, they have a whole dance routine set up to celebrate the runner scoring, right? So that's probably the videos most people are familiar with seeing on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, those scripted moments. But there is an actual baseball game around that. And before the game, they have a block party outside of the stadium with food trucks and the merch trucks. There's a stage set up on one end. Live music is playing. The one we went to was the firefighters and the party animals. The firefighters have a drum line. So the drum line came out and was performing. And instead of cheerleaders, because of the firefighters, they have the calendar crew, which is, yeah, it's exactly what you think it is. Men dressed up as firefighters, very good looking, masculine, or, ripped men doing firefighter things. It's exactly what it is. It's Chippendales. And you know what? I am completely straight, mostly, but I still enjoyed it. My wife would question that statement. John and I have a history.
Straight is relative.
Anyway, straight is relative.
Remember, some of that is, you can't talk about some of that. There are legal documents in place.
Indeed. Anyway, so like whole block party before the game even starts. We get into the stadium and, they open the doors about an hour before the game starts. And they've got competitions and the crowd doing stuff. They had races of, the most ridiculous one was the mermaid race, where they had two guys shirts off and their legs bound up like mermaids. And they had to basically do the worm down the first and third base line, racing to get to a pool at home plate. It looks very painful.
I really hope they put something down, because that is not nice things to.
My nipples were like, ah!
I mean, it does sound like they're heavily in favor of shirtless men. I mean,
they do appear to be in favor of shirtless men. Accurate.
What kind of stadium is it? Is it like regulation size or like a minor league stadium?
Fair. It is regulation size. They have no home field. Supposedly there's one in Georgia, but otherwise they play at whatever stadiums they can get room at. So we saw them at a minor league stadium in Norfolk, but they're playing at Camden Yards, where the Orioles play in like 2 weeks. They have sold out football stadiums with
impressive.
Like they're getting some impressive crowd numbers. Tickets are $35 irrelevant of seat.
Sold.
Nice.
That's why they're selling out right there.
Mm-hmm.
What the? Oh.
So before the game started, they're doing like giveaways and competitions. They had one where two guys got up on top of each of the two dugouts, the roof of the dugout. Two fans got up on the roof of the dugout, and then pitchers were throwing water balloons from on top of the stadium trying to hit them. It was awesome. It was hysterical.
So what I'm hearing is this is Harlem Globetrotters for baseball.
It's Harlem Globetrotters for base. Yes, it kind of is, but there's a whole freaking league behind it. They have 4 teams so far. They're expanding next year to 6 teams. Seriously, case study in crowd engagement. We are going to talk about this more when I've had an opportunity to digest their theories and strategies and all of that.
We should check with Leslie and Ashley and see how they feel about also getting shirtless men at our home. Maybe we can work this out.
I mean, Leslie has already said she's in favor.
I figure we're in favor.
Why would I object to this?
I think we do this. See if we can hire Chippendales for the hunt.
Nobody saw that, right? Excellent. Nobody saw that. So anyway, hunters, go check out Banana Ball. Look at their social media presence. Look at the way they engage their crowds. They engage their guests. There was a lot to take away from here. We will talk about it more soon, I promise. In the meantime, we are here to talk about Halloween.
Before you move on to Halloween,
go ahead.
I did do some research. There is some sort of mad scientist who, so he made a waffle, They just created a waffle.
You're not talking about your son, are you?
No,
Carry on.
this is far. This is advanced work.
Okay.
So he made a waffle. He then put pancake batter on the griddle, and then when it was just about ready, then he places the waffle into the pancake batter. He then, once it is finished cooking, he then takes the whole thing and dumps it in the egg wash, and then fries it up like French toast.
He made a breakfast turducken?
He made a French toast waffle pancake.
So it's the breakfast version of the turducken. That's what I'm hearing here.
It is. So you don't have to choose. What I'm saying, you don't have to be wrong. It doesn't have to be this way.
I hate you.
We can get you help.
I hate you.
I'm gonna send it.
You're a bad person.
I'm
Anyway,
fine.
let's talk some Halloween, because at this point I think we've probably lost all of our listeners. Maybe we can get them back here.
If they turned it off.
They may have completely turned it off. We'll see what happens. But we are actually here to talk about Halloween. And I want to take just a couple minutes real quick and talk about kind of where we're at in our planning process. So if you're not familiar with it, if you're a new listener here or just need a refresher, definitely go check out our website at huntingyou.com, just the letter U, because if you go there and click on the Hunting You method, you will see the method that we use every single year to plan our haunts. It is broken up into 3 phases. There are steps inside each of those phases that help guide us as we are trying to do what we do. And so we talked already about our goals. We've identified our audience, our theme. The theme is we're sticking with our Asylum Wendigo theme. We have a backstory. The backstory is up on the website, scehaunt.com. And the malevolent spirit is infecting the doctor who does crazy things to his patients. We've started the marketing process. We have our website up. I'm starting to put together images for flyers that, John, I want you to take lead on because you're amazing with flyers. I'll give you all of the pictures I've come up with so far. I've been playing a lot with generative AI to make these pictures. And honestly, I'm having a little too much fun with it.
They should not have let you have it.
They should not have let me have it, honestly. My children are also
kind of
having
like
fun
Leslie
with it.
can't have sharp things, I think.
It's been kind of cool because I've been able to take some of the characters that we've developed and kind of give them and put them into situations. So like long, dark Victorian hallway with red carpet. It's lit with candles on the walls, lots of shadows with a white ghost walking down the hall. Like, this is what it's come up with. I don't know how well you can see that, but like it kind of works. I've done that with our porcelain doll. I've had this image in my head for years on how to market this haunt, where you have the doctor like leaning over or standing over a patient in a bed, and the shadow of the doctor behind him is the shape of a Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
I am not artistic whatsoever, but I've had that image in my mind for a long time. And with AI, I was able to make something that I kind of like. So go check out our Instagram. I will post a bunch of these pictures up there to show kind of what we're doing with this generative AI to help us with our marketing. And then John is going to take that, turn them into posters that have all of the information that people need on it. We will hang them all over the city and hopefully drive people to come and support the haunt, support the food bank that we are collecting food for this season.
Maybe Chippendales would sponsor us.
Maybe Chippendales will sponsor us. You never know. There's only one way to find out.
Like that.
John, you better send an email.
And then, of course, design a layout. So we got our layout designed. There it is right there on graph paper. I talked about that in the last episode. If you want to hear more about it, go listen to the last episode. I'm not going to talk about it again. So that is the planning phase. The planning phase is complete, which is good because, again, we are less than 100 days to Halloween, and we need to be way past the planning phase. We need to be into the production phase, where we start actually building things. And I have made progress on the building things. That's not true. It's a little true. I have not. I have collected materials. I have not built anything yet.
Exactly. Massage the tree.
As a collector of materials, collecting the materials and completing the projects are 2 very different hobbies.
Accurate. Very, very accurate. But I spend a lot of time on Facebook Marketplace because that is where I tend to find things for the haunt, right? And I get bored at work. we all get bored at work. So I was bored at work skimming through Facebook Marketplace, and I stumbled on a post that caught my eye. And I just need to read the headline of it. If I can find my screenshots folder, there it is. I just need to read the headline. So here's how it was phrased: trampolines, pallet racking, plywood, more, free, just listed 7 hours ago. I'm like, I'm intrigued. So I start scrolling through the pictures, and it looks like one of those like trampoline parks, inside a storefront with high ceilings, trampolines all over the place. They've got basketball hoops, they've got foam block pits, they've got spinny things that try to knock you off into the foam block pits. And as I'm scrolling through, I see what they said. They have a laser tag arena. Ooh, they have a laser tag arena. And guess what's all over the laser tag arena? Big ass sheets of plywood. So I'm incredibly intrigued here. And there's a phone number on it. So I text the guy, "Hi, my name's Keoni. I run a haunted house. I saw your post. I'd like to talk to you more about this plywood you have available." So he calls me up and he's like, "Hey, I'm here until 4:00 today. Can you get here?" I'm like, "Well, I could get there by 4:30. Will that work?" He's like, I'll stay an extra half hour. Come on over." So I head over, and oh my God, this laser tag arena, John, we would have freaking owned in this laser tag arena. It was amazing. And the construction was super intriguing. They actually used pallet racking. For those who don't know what pallet racking is, it is a very heavy duty shelf unit made for taking a forklift, lifting a pallet up, and setting it on top of the shelf, right? So they are incredibly heavy duty.
Think Costco warehouse shelving.
Heavier duty. Actually, no, that probably is exactly it. Yeah. So they used that for their structure, covered the whole thing in plywood, and made stairs and ramps and towers for people to go up and down and around and play laser tag in. This arena was phenomenal, but it was all basically brand new plywood, except, cut down for the sizes or shapes that they need, and then a few holes for the screws that they use to put it on. But I'm like, oh my God, I need this plywood. I don't need it. I really, really want it. So I'm like, how much are you asking? Here's what I do. I'm running a haunted house. We support a charity. How much are you asking for this plywood?
I love how you throw the "I support a charity" in there.
Always, because people are more willing to give you stuff when you are doing good for your community. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, knock, knock. Always talk about how the charities you're supporting. Anyway, he tells me I need to have this entire building cleaned out by Saturday. It was Wednesday when I was there. Everything needs to be cleaned out, and everything needs to be cleaned out by Friday. So I look around, I'm like, and he's like, "I'm at the point, it's free. I just need it to go because I have to have this cleaned out by Friday." And I tell him, "I can't do it by Friday, but if you give me Saturday, I will clean this out on Saturday." He's like, "Done. We can make this happen." So I'm like, okay, what have I just gotten myself into? I don't know that I actually have the capability to do this by myself because there is so much freaking wood here. So what do? I turn to my haunting family. I went on the Greater DC Home Haunters page, and I, had taken a couple pictures. I post the pictures on there, and I say, "Hey, I have a lead on a ton of free plywood, more than I can handle. I need help to get it out, and you can keep whatever you haul. Bring a drill, bring a pair of gloves, and bring a way to take it away. And any plywood you can handle is yours."
Strike the set, kids. Strike
the set. Not a single fucking haunter reached out to me to help me. Zero. Haunt family.
Seems like a lot of work.
You hosed me. So I show up 8 a.m. on Saturday, having gone to Home Depot at 6:30, picked up a trailer from Home Depot so that I would have more capacity to carry it, drove there, and I'm ready to go. I've got gloves, I've got drills, I've got 4 different batteries, I've got 2 battery chargers. Like, we're going to make this happen.
At this point, you're of the mindset of like, well, crap, now to keep my word.
Now to keep my word,
to do
let's
the
go.
whole thing.
I got to do it by myself. Exactly. So
Don't you have children for that sort of thing?
my children were in Colorado.
Ah,
So I didn't even have children for that kind of thing.
well played, kids. Well played.
So I get in there and we get the lights on and just start taking screws out. And I'm moving as quickly as I can. And it takes me the better part of about an hour and a half, 2 hours just to get all of the plywood loose on the top level. There are 3 different levels in this place. So, and I'm not moving things down as I go. I'm just kind of stacking it on one side. And all I've done so far, taking off the sidewalls. I haven't even started touching the floors yet. So I get all the sidewalls off up there and I move them down to the next level so they're out of the way. And then I start trying to take up the floor. The floor is 3/4 inch plywood. 3/4 inch plywood is heavy. Really heavy. And I'm on top of these pallet racks. There's no longer any walls because I just took all the walls off. So like easy to fall off of the pallet racks if I'm not being careful. And just 2 days before, I had gone to see the podiatrist because I injured my foot, and he gave me a cortisone shot in the bottom of my foot. I don't know if you guys have you either of you had cortisone shots?
No.
So they numbed my foot first to do the shot, which is never a good sign. And then he took this 4-inch needle.
It's a significant needle. I know that much. Yeah.
Stuck it in the side of my foot. Squeeze a little in, wiggle it around, squeeze in, wiggle it around, squeeze in, wiggle it around. Like, I'm so glad I was numb, but watching him do this, I was like,
If it makes you feel any better, I have had a doctor take a scalpel and cut the top part of my cornea open.
Granted, totally different situation.
Makes
No
you feel
doubt.
any better.
No doubt.
How's your foot, by the way?
A lot better. But like, as soon as the numbing wore off, it was just throbbing pain. And I'm pretty sure it was just the trauma of him wiggling the needle around inside my muscle tissue. But for like 5 days, 7 days after, my foot was in agony. Since then, it feels great. It worked amazing, but that first week was a little rough. And I'm doing all of this wood stuff 2 days after getting that.
So are you supposed to move it around inside the foot? Is that I'm not a doctor or anything?
It's kind of like what they do if they have to do. I don't know if you guys have ever had dental work and they have to numb.
Yeah,
they have to do the shot in the jaw.
Yeah, a whole bunch of different places.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's
same idea.
that, except it's the shot in the jaw.
Mm.
And they do it into the jaw joint, and it's the multiple places to try and hit all the different nerves. And mine are extra fun because my nerves are not where everybody else's nerves are.
Naturally, we know you're special.
Well, they kind of had to move my nerves around to fix my face.
Well, yeah, that. Anyway,
yes, that.
Yeah. So like, I come to the conclusion there is no way I'm going to get these floors up by myself. I would need other people pushing from the bottom so that I could get it up and out of the way safely without risking myself falling off this third story of the pallet rack, right? So I'm defeated at this point. I feel just completely defeated. I go out, I talk to the guy, like, look, there is no way for me to do this safely. Here's my plan. I will take all of the vertical stuff and we'll call it. And he's like, you know what? That works for me. I've got a demolition crew coming in on Monday. They can handle whatever's left. I'm like, sweet. So I shift my gear at that point and just start looking for all of the relatively 4x8 sheets that I can get my hands on from wherever they are. Start pulling them out, get them down, and then he had a couple people there he had one guy there helping him, who I'm like, tell you what, $40, I will give you $40 if you help me haul all of this out to the trailer. So he helped me haul it all out to the trailer, which was good because my foot was throbbing again by that time. So he's got to lock up at 4:00. I'm limited in time. So I'm like, let's get it all loaded. We'll see where we're at. And then I can go back for more if need be. I maxed out the capacity of the trailer. It's a 3,500 pound trailer. And I exceeded that 3,500 pounds. So I ended up leaving plywood on the sidewalk out in front, just in case they left and I couldn't make it back. Came back, did a second load, picked up more plywood, and brought the rest of it home. So in total, I ended up with 57 complete, like over 6 feet long sheets of plywood for what ultimately ended up being about $100. I paid 60 for the trailer. I paid 40 to let this guy help me move it all. So I got 57 sheets of 3/4 inch and 3/8 inch plywood for $100. I went on Home Depot and determined like what it would cost to buy this new. Guys, I got $3,000 worth of plywood for $100. All because I reached out to a random dude on Facebook and made it happen.
Yep.
So haunters, if you're not surfing Facebook Marketplace, you're wrong.
Don't like French toast. I'm glad it worked out.
It worked out well enough. And I told him, here's my card. Give it to the demo crew. If they want someone to come and haul more plywood away, I will come and do that. And I ended up getting like 7 or 8 more good sheets doing that as well. So
Man is a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, apparently. I've got like 64 sheets
You're
of
surprised?
plywood.
No, not at all.
No one is surprised by this. No one is surprised by this. So I've got 64 sheets of plywood now. And so I've been trying to figure out what to do with it. Before we talk about that, though, let's take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and then I will reveal what I'm going to do with it.
Wood things?
Wood things. I'm going to do wood things.
Thanks.
Guys, I'm building a facade this year. I have wanted to build a facade for a while, and I finally have the material I can make it happen. So I told everyone the kids have been gone at grandma's for the last few weeks. So while they're gone, we're doing all the things that we can't do when kids are around. Like watch creepy shows and movies, right?
Did you watch Hannibal?
Did not watch Hannibal. I introduced Ashley to Squid Game, a show that I love. New season just came out.
Mm-hmm.
She had never seen it. So I'm like, great, let's watch it from the beginning. And then we can just roll right into the new season. And I'm glad we did that because season 2 ended halfway through the game and then picked up in season 3. So I'm glad we went back and watched because I'd forgotten some important details. That said, Squid Game, I love it. It's phenomenal. Really enjoyed the show. But the other one we're watching was Last of Us. Finally got to watch Last of Us.
Last of Us is good.
It was so freaking good.
How could you not love Pedro Pascal?
In anything.
Yeah.
Spoilers. If you don't want spoilers for Last of Us, jump forward 30 seconds right now. When they fucking killed him off in the second episode of the second season, I died a little inside.
You monster. I hadn't seen it yet.
John, skip ahead 30 seconds.
Thanks.
A little late for that.
A little too late.
Thank you.
It was amazing. But like from the get-go, it was amazing. They set up the backstory in the first like minute and a half of the show with a 1970s era like scientific talk show discussion thing, right? Where they're talking about the possibilities of pandemic. And they've got a couple of experts on talking about the possibilities of pandemic. And one of them is I cannot remember the name of the type of scientist that studies fungus, but he was a fungus scientist.
Microbiologist?
No. It's something very specific. Phlebobologist?
Not a
not a phlebobologist, no. Feel free to look it up. But anyway,
yeah, I will because I know it and I can't remember it and it's going to drive me nuts. So I'm going to look it up because that's what I do.
This guy was like, pandemics are nothing. There is this fungus that will actually take over the bodies of creatures and treat them like puppets and move them around to do things. What is it?
Mycologist.
Micrologist?
Mycologist.
There we go. Mycologist studies fungus. Anyway, so he's talking about this zombie fungus. And if you're not familiar with the zombie fungus, Google the zombie fungus because great material. It's great material for haunts. But he's talking about this fungus. He's like, the only reason that this has not like completely wiped out life on our planet is because the core temperature of mammals is too high. It can't survive in that, right? But if the climate were to warm enough that it evolved to survive in a warmer climate, it could adapt to survive at body temperature, and then we would be screwed. It would be an extinction level event.
Spoiler alert, it was.
And it was. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's how they set up the backstory, and then we see it happen. Oh my God, it was amazing. I freaking loved it.
Also, if you guys are struggling for, monsters and villains and things, look to nature. Watch anything.
Nature's freaking creepy.
Oh God, it's brilliant. Nature and history are two of the best places to get inspiration because the truth really is stranger than fiction.
Yes, abso-freaking-lutely. And the costume design on the show is phenomenal. The fungus creatures with all the mushrooms and things growing out of their heads and bodies, and just level of detail and the color and the painting and the lighting on the sets. It is incredibly well done. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again and study like how they set up scenes and things, because it is phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic. And I want to incorporate that. Hannibal. But anyway, so we're watching that. And while we're doing that, I am scribbling on graph paper, trying to figure out, well, how can I make a facade out of all of this plywood that I have now? And make it so that I can break it down into pieces to store later. So I started just by sketching out always to scale. And in this case, I was using one box is 6 inches to get an appropriate scale. But I ended up with a 16 feet across, 18 feet tall, made up of 4x8 panels on the bottom, 4 6x4 panels on the second row, and then one like decoratively carved. It's almost trapezoidal, 8 feet on one side, 4 feet on the other, with curved sides. So not a true trapezoid, but that'll be the like roof structure. So it's 3 stories tall. It will have a total of 4, 8, 9, basically 9 panels that can come apart and put together. The only part I haven't quite figured out yet is the structure behind it to keep it standing up. And I'm going back and forth on this part.
How tall is it again?
18 feet. There's a part of me that's like, what if I just put a scaffolding behind it and attach it to the scaffolding?
Yeah.
Right?
Honestly, with that height, that's probably...
Now, the top, I'm probably going to build out of foam. So it's going to be lightweight, and I don't have to worry too much about it, falling on people. It won't be as top heavy, exactly. So it's really the first 14 feet that I want to have a structure to. The bottom will be made of the 3/4 inch plywood, so it'll have big hardy base. I'll probably make a nice 2x4 box frame behind it, and then second one we'll use the thinner plywood, so it'll be lighter, and probably use smaller framing for that part as well. Again, trying to make it lighter, bolt everything together with wing nuts so that I can take it apart relatively easy. That's the goal, at least. I think there's going to be an awful lot of trial and error as I'm trying to build this, and we'll work through the problems as we go. So go subscribe to us. Go subscribe to all our socials, particularly YouTube at Hunting You and Instagram at Hunting University, because as I'm trying to figure all of this out, there will be videos to go along with it. But I'm incredibly excited about what's going to happen here. We've been talking about design of it and how to incorporate elements of our backstory into it. So like the windows, we're trying to find a way to make less you describe it, because this was your idea.
Yeah. So one of the things is, we're talking, this is our facade. So we want to not only introduce kind of the atmosphere, but we also want to start hinting at and telegraphing something's wrong here. So how do you do that in a way that is subtle, not too obvious, not too complicated, and also kind of pulls in the idea that this has been there for a long time. There's a lot more ancient history to this place. So one of the things that we talked about and that I, kind of thought up is using tracery. So for those of you who
What
don't
is
know,
tracery, Les?
tracery is the architectural term for the Gothic arches in windows. So it's a Gothic style architecture, and it's all of think the rose window in Notre Dame. So all of those circles and arches and lines that go into these windows and into the structures, that is tracery. So that does a couple of things. One, it's Gothic, so it puts it further back architecturally and historically than the time period that we're necessarily working in, but that adds weight to the building and kind of creates this disconnect between all of these different styles while still making things look like something's wrong. So it's creating this discomfort of like, this doesn't necessarily belong here because the facade is very, very Victorian.
Right.
But now we're putting this Gothic tracery on it. And so we had a number of discussions, and at this particular point in time, I'm also in Boston, so I'm taking pictures of windows and all sorts of other things to send as well. And so what started out as ideas of we just want to put some sort of barring on the windows to make it look like we're trying to keep things in, turned into utilizing tracery. Well, then it was, okay, well, how do we utilize tracery to start to telegraph our monster? So that kind of turned into, we can start using these elements to make things look like antlers. So there's a lot of different ways, and there's a lot of different styles. Well, there's 3 main styles of tracery, and I'm not turning this into an architectural discussion because, well, I'm not an architect, but I like it.
And it'd be hard to describe just with words and not video.
Yes. So Google tracery styles and enjoy the pretty pictures because there's a lot of them. So talking about how to do that, and one of the things we came up with was using kind of these antler and these branching, because a lot of traceries have this branching aspect to them, this kind of fractal imagery. So again, pulling all of that in together and putting that into our windows as kind of this barred structure to say we're keeping things in and something's not quite right.
And this actually ended up being another way that we were using generative AI to help us visualize what we're trying to do here. I was able to create some windows that used antler-shaped tracery and kind of get an idea of what it would look like. And honestly, I was super skeptical when we were talking about it. But I kind of love it.
With a lot of the things
as well, accurate. Yeah. But I kind of love it. Go check out our Instagram. I'll post the pictures that AI came up with there. But like, I could see this kind of working. So I think what I'm going to do is, as I'm cutting out these windows, I will, use a jigsaw to cut out antler shapes and then maybe use foam to build up a little more 3D to make it more like tracery afterwards. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. But I'm kind of excited about it. It's a neat idea, and I kind of like it. Beyond that, I'm trying to figure out cheap ways of adding architectural details, right? And I've already talked about it. Have I talked about it here? I don't think I have. Part of what I got at that trampoline place that was going out of business was like 7 bags of foam blocks. The foam blocks that people were falling into in pits. Yeah,
you won't build me a foam pit, though.
I'm not building you a foam pit. But I have 7 garbage bags, like contractor garbage bags worth of foam blocks. So I have a lot
That's
of
why you should
potential.
build me a foam pit.
I'm not building a foam pit.
You
But
should.
I have a lot of potential material to work with, but it's all in like 6-inch foam cubes, which is a little bit limiting. I'm gonna have to find a way to glue them together to make larger structures. We'll see how that goes. More experimenting to be happening. But like, I love this look of like, Victorian architecture, and I want to make siding. I want it to look like we have siding on this facade, but I want it to be lightweight so that I can move it around easily and
not have to paint it on.
not paint it on. Correct. Yeah, exactly. Because I want more 3D than that. And I'm really struggling to find a material that's meeting both of those needs. It has to be waterproof because I'm going to leave this outside for an extended period of time, but I want it to be lightweight, but it has to be able to take paint and
Spray foam.
did you say spray foam? And it has to be cheap.
I'm always going to lose out on one point, and it's usually the price point.
It's usually the price point. Exactly. I'm definitely going to be using, foam insulation on the upper levels, and I can carve whatever I want into that. Like that's very easy. But the lowest level where people are going to be walking, it has to be solid. People are going to be bumping into it. They're going to be hitting it. They're going to be touching it. It's got to be solid. And so like, I got a bunch of thinner plywood, but it's like 3/8. So I could cut 3/8 strips and then, nail that onto the thicker plywood to make it. But God, that's going to get heavy fast. So I don't love that plan. Maybe if I got 1/4-inch plywood, even thinner than what I have, it'd be an option. But again, now we're talking, it would cost money again.
I got it.
I'm listening.
Pool noodles.
Pool noodles.
Cut them into 1/4s or 1/8s, and then just do strips.
That's so thin, though. Like, I want a 3-inch wide.
Okay,
not
so
shingle, but siding.
Yeah,
siding.
no siding.
Like, here, I'm showing less.
I know. I've just spent 5 days in Boston. Like everything is that.
And in order to make poodle noodles work, it would have to be so thin. I think I would lose the look.
Okay, I have another option.
I'm listening.
You have a router, right?
I do.
1/8-inch router every 3 inches.
Ooh.
Reverse it.
So
you're not pushing it out, you're pulling it in.
Ooh, I wonder how that would look. We're going to have to play with that. Fortunately, I have lots of scrap wood that I can play with that with.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion, is instead of trying to, and the other benefit of that is you drop your weight. Not significantly, but
not significantly, but we're taking material away. It's doing the foam carving in wood. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Les, this is why I need you. You're a freaking genius. Outside the box thinking right there.
This is why I stay quiet during these parts. My contribution interrupts the creative process.
Sometimes it is exactly the creative process we need. It varies.
It is.
Not for something like that.
Not for something like that. Fair.
Yeah. I would do. I do 3-4-inch router lines.
Yeah, a router line every 3-4 inches.
And then the other thing I would do is
paint it.
Paint
those lines
the
black.
lines darker.
Yep, exactly. So it looks like a shadow.
I wouldn't necessarily go black, but I would go like several shades darker than
the rest. Exactly.
Yeah, because you don't want it to look like really bad grout. You do want it to look like shadows.
Accurate.
And I don't know if you can do that, but if your router can do anything on an angle.
I was just thinking that, and like,
because that's how you get that like stepped. So if you can I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to what angle I would recommend without playing with a protractor.
Same.
But I would test out to see if you can run your router on an angle.
I don't know that a router is the right tool for this. Okay. Well, I mean, it absolutely would for making the lines, but then after that, I would need a saw. That's it. I need a saw to bevel it. And I don't think I can do that with my circular saw. I might be able to do that with my circular saw. I would need to see how far the gauge can pivot. But that's got to be the question is the angle. It's all on the angle.
The angle. Yeah.
Okay, I have some ideas. That was helpful. What?
Angle grinder?
If worse came to worse, I could potentially
switch your blade on the switch your grinder on the angle grinder and use that to.
So I am not okay with putting a circular saw blade on the angle grinder.
I wasn't saying put a circular saw blade.
That scares the hell out of me.
I was not saying do that. I'm saying switch it to something that's not designed for grinding metal.
Correct. Right. I mean, I could put I would have to go see what's available, but I'm picturing a sanding block.
Yeah, that was going to be my next suggestion. Is if you've got a circular sander, or even a belt sander.
I think a belt sander would be terrible. There's just so much material that has to get removed. You'd be going through sanding belts like crazy. But an angle grinder is made for taking off large amounts of material, and it would leave it a little bit uneven, like it was hand carved. I like where this is going. I'm going to play with this. Yes. Les, you're a genius. That's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm going to play with that and see how it works.
Excellent.
Sweet. So we have an idea on how to do the siding. That's excellent. I'm very excited about it. I have an idea on how to do the windows. I know already I want to use foam for the roof, so I'll be doing carving with hot knives for the shingle look there. I have a central window planned above so 2 doors, an entrance door and an exit door. And then right above that, there's going to be a larger window where we want to project Atmos FX's Halloween window, which is a stained glass looking window that changes between various Halloween scenes. I love it. It's phenomenal. But that's going to be front and center. That's our weenie to get people in. And then we just need all kinds of other decoration on the front. And because we've got 2 doors, I want to find a way to make the Sanguine Creek Estates logo and put the logo right there above between the 2 doors. Get a couple of lamps, one mounted on each side with flickering light, the flickering flame light bulbs. So it looks like, flame lamp. And then I'm debating trying to do shadows passing in front of the windows again with projectors. Or maybe just doing ghosts passing in front of the windows, the upstairs windows in particular. It may just end up being ghosts.
Yeah.
But there will definitely be projectors there.
I like it.
So, yeah, that's kind of the plan for the facade. So this weekend, I think I'll start making those front panels. And then I need to figure out still how I'm going to make this thing stand up.
I really would do scaffolding.
I think scaffolding is the best option, doesn't it?
Any sort of T-brace with the height that you're working with and the weight that you're working with, I would really do scaffolding. That's going to give you the most places to tie on. It's going to give you something stable, and it's also going to give it some depth as people are walking into and out of. It's not just like I walk through plywood and it's a ghost town. You're actually walking through something into the house.
Yeah, exactly. And the other, I'm going to say, large structure that I have built for Halloween is, of course, our crypt. The crypt is 15 feet tall and it's made completely out of foam. And I use just a 2x4 frame to hold all the foam pieces in place. The biggest difference between the crypt and this haunted house facade that I'm going to build is the crypt is built on my kids' swing set, which is 4x4 posts. But it's 4x4 posts that are actually cemented into the ground. And I screw 2x6s, 2x8s, 2x10s into those 4x4s. And that is the structure that is supporting the crypt. So it's actually cemented in 4x4s holding up the crypt. So it is incredibly stable.
Yeah.
On my driveway, though, I don't have the ability to tie into something in that same way. Although I could, now that I think about it, because
without damaging the driveway.
So the driveway is only about 8 feet wide, and I'm planning for a 16-foot wide facade that extends past the driveway a little bit. My wife has a flower bed on one side, and there's grass on the hill on the other side. I could dig a hole in the grass and in the flower bed to put a 4x4 in. And instead of like putting a 4x4 in, I cement in a 4x4 hole that I can slip a post in and out of each year. So when it's not Halloween time, I can just pull the post out and cover it up with a cover, and it just sits there until next Halloween. Unburied again, slip a pole in, and now I have something strong I can build a structure into.
What are you doing on the other side? Tying it to the house?
No. One on each side. One in the grass, one in the flower bed.
Mm-hmm. And it's how what?
16 feet. 16 feet. Facade. 8-foot wide driveway.
Okay. So it'd be 6 feet in on either side. Ish. So it'd be basically 2/3 of the way in.
Yeah, I think it'd be a little bit further than that.
Yeah,
it would be about a quarter on either side.
Yeah. In a pinch, I think that would work.
My fear about the scaffolding is it won't be heavy enough to stand up against wind that will try to blow it over.
That's where I would do tie outs.
What? There's nothing to tie to.
Do you put a post in? You also have your house and you have trees.
Well, the trees are very far away and apparently not in as good a shape as we thought because I walked out of the house yesterday morning and discovered that a 15-inch diameter part of the tree snapped overnight.
Oh shit.
And just dropped itself into the yard. Thankfully,
wind.
There was no wind. That was the crazy part. Like we had bad storms a few days before and leading up to it, but the night that it finally failed, there was no wind, which was super weird. But you know how picture the trunk, and then it V's into two parts, right? One of those two V's is what snapped, which is craziness. Like,
what type of tree is it?
I could not tell you. I'm not.
Okay.
That's Ashley's specialty.
Some trees. We had one that we actually had a split like that, and we had to take half of it off.
Yeah.
Because at some point it was going to do that.
And ours just did. So I haven't had a chance to deal with it yet. Happened yesterday. This weekend, my other project is to take that down and chop it up and all that. And then I'll actually get a look at like the inside of this branch.
Right. Whether or not it's
rotted out. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's, cottonwoods aren't really where you guys are, but if it was a cottonwood, I'd say that's probably what's happened. But
definitely not a cottonwood. No, it's a hardwood of some kind. But anyway, so I have lots of ideas. Now that we just need to start implementing some of these ideas and then see what happens. Experiment.
Yeah,
engineer. Science.
It's only science if you write it down.
I'm going to have to science the shit out of this.
Okay.
Mark Wadney.
Yeah, I definitely think my big concern again is just that weight. If you're using 3/4 inch ply and you're talking 18 sheets of it, that's...
No. 9 sheets of it. Well, 8 sheets of it.
Okay.
But
that's still
not even 8 sheets of it because the 3/4 inch ply will only be the bottom 4. Next level up, I'll use 3/8, and it will only be 6 feet, not 8 feet. And then on top of that will be foam.
Yeah, I would definitely want to figure out how much weight you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing too is since we're doing the windows as cutouts, I'm guessing.
Correct.
And then muslin behind it to do light filtering and everything else.
Accurate.
That will help not turn it into a wind sail.
That's true. There will be a significantly reduced sail area because I'll have a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah. Yeah, my biggest concerns would be the weight and making sure that it's stable and making sure that there's enough removal of material to not turn it into a wind sail if you guys do get another
bomb cyclone.
Now,
that being said, one of the things that I preach here on this podcast is you have to build it strong enough that it can stand up to the weather that you're going to get, or it's easy enough to take apart that if you have bad weather forecast, you can. So that's the other half of this. Like, I need to build it so that it's relatively easy to disassemble, so that if I need to, I can just take that second story off and bear down for the bunker down for the weather, and then set it back up again when it's passed. That's an option as well.
Yeah.
But with our luck, bomb cyclone will show up 3 days before opening, or the day of opening, as it happened last time, and screw up all of our plans. So I think
again, as you guys are building, these are the types of things we talk about as you can listen to every single time. It's not just what are we building, but what are we having to build it for? Where are we putting it? How are we securing it? All of these things go into what you're doing, and the larger that you're building, the more you have to parse out security, stability, and everything else. If that's not, if you're not engineeringly inclined, if that's not what you're doing, micro haunts, and that's the way to go. And we've done multiple episodes on micro haunting and small scale setups as well. For those of you who 18-foot facade seems a little much.
It might be a little much for me. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Now, let's real quick take a break, hear from our sponsors, and then, John, I think we need to get into some shenanigans because it's been a while. So
prepare yourselves.
Well, we're back. Thank you for that lovely message of sponsors. Please give us money.
John, you're shameless.
I asked John to say something about encouraging people to sponsor us, because we have a whole variety of ways that we can help you get your message out to the hunt community through the Hunting You podcast. John took that as, please give us money.
First off, I'm not wrong. Second, I was joking. I was going to redo that.
I don't know. I might just leave that. You'll never know now.
Oh, he will if he listens to
Listen to the show?
I don't believe you listen to it. Don't give me that.
I'm a listener.
I'm gonna let me real quick. I'm just gonna jump over here real quick and look at Podbean.
I subscribe.
Yes. How are our stats looking?
Well, it's funny you should mention that. We have broken 20,000 downloads. In fact, we are over 22,000 downloads as of now.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that's amazing. They like us.
They like us. So I'm going to just jump over to the United States. Okay, we have 13 downloads from Colorado. So maybe you are listening. I'm not totally sure I buy it.
That's
what makes you think I'm not?
I'm just saying.
I'll text you a screenshot. I'm subscribed to the podcast.
I believe you're subscribed. I just don't think you listen to it.
How dare you? I wanted to go. This reminds me of something I wanted to do before.
You know what, though, guys? Something happened this month, because Idaho has taken up almost a quarter of our total downloads. I think somebody discovered the podcast in Idaho, and they downloaded all of the episodes accidentally.
I love it when there's a binge.
If you're from Idaho Falls, I love Idaho Falls. I lived there for many years.
Guys, we had 9 downloads from the UK.
Hey!
Sweet.
I was going to do a British accent. We're not going to do that.
We had a download in Germany.
That was probably an accident.
And we had 36 downloads in Hong Kong.
But what's interesting is, so just on that front, I went back to look at some of our comments on the show, at least on Apple. They're all incredibly positive, high ratings. But if you guys like the show, especially you're talking about binging it, go ahead, throw us a review, throw us a star rating. It doesn't have to be 5 stars. It doesn't have to be a positive review. If you want us to see if there's something we can improve or something you'd like to see, throw it in there.
Honestly, the best way that you can help support us, short of, just randomly throwing money at us, is to rate the show. Leave us a rating, because leaving us a rating helps promote the show to other listeners. And more people can find us that way. So whatever app you are listening on, give us a quick 4-star, 5-star, give us a 3-star if you feel so strongly about it. Give us a 1-star if you feel strongly about it.
There is one that said, "This podcast is so fun. I really love it. I don't like how the host pushes back on the theft."
I think you're making that up.
I might be making that up. 100%.
Yeah,
wait,
exactly.
Do you know what this means?
What does this mean?
This what we're recording is episode 99.
This is, in fact, episode 99. And we have something very special planned for episode 100. We actually don't. We have no idea what we're going to do for episode 100. But as it turns out, and this was not planned at all, it's just kind of how it fell, our 100th episode is going to be live from the show floor at Hunters Against Hate, the event.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
I'm so freaking excited. Let's talk about that real quick. We were trying to get the leader, CEO, founder. Let's go with founder. We were trying to get the founder of Hunters Against Hate on to talk about the event, but he is so freaking busy right now that there was just no way for us. We could not make it work. But we will have him on later to talk about Hunters Against Hate and all of the amazing things that he does through that organization. But we thought it was incredibly important this year to show our support for the LGBT hunting community. And so we will have a booth at Hunters Against Hate, the event number 3. It is going to be August 8th through 10th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Crown Plaza in Louisville, Kentucky. I thought we were done going to Kentucky when Fear Expo moved. Apparently I was wrong. I'm going back to Kentucky. But I will be there. I will have a booth. Please come swing by the booth. Talk with me. We can do a recording with you. If you want to be on the podcast, I will have my equipment set up so we can record. And then I haven't actually talked about this with Les and John yet. Saturday, Sunday. When do you guys want to do a live broadcast from the show floor at Hunters Against Hate?
Either day.
Saturday? John?
Sorry, I missed that. What?
Saturday or Sunday? When do you want to do the live show?
What day is that?
August 8th, 9th, and 10th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Probably Saturday.
Okay. Everybody agrees Saturday. We will do Saturday at 10 a.m. Will be our live show. That's as soon as the show floor opens, and we'll just be grabbing people off the show floor because that's how I roll.
Much like a weenie.
Much like a weenie.
If you could get a hold of one of those hot dog costumes.
Not a chance. So tune in, like and subscribe. Make sure you are tuned in to the Hunting You podcast, because we will have a live show from Hunter Against Hate on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm super excited for it.
Oh, I hate you.
So you don't like...
That's actually a fair point, because you guys are 2 hours behind me. Let's go with noon.
Thank you.
Noon Eastern, so that Les and John have a chance to get coffee.
Sounds like it. No. You won't let us get coffee. You won't let us get coffee. You won't do the hot dog costume. You hate French toast. You ruined Last of Us for me. You, sir, are a thief of joy.
It's been a great episode. And I think we need to finish it out with just a few shenanigans. So, John, what do you have? One. Oh, Leslie.
Leslie has one. Yeah.
Leslie is bringing.
Oh no! It went away again. Let me find it again.
But her phone is working against her.
Oh, it's just being particular.
Well, while Leslie tries to find it, John, do you have any shenanigans ready to go?
Got it.
Leslie, go ahead.
Okay. I sent this to our group chat, and we were going to put it on the shenanigans a while ago, but then we all forgot about it. So, could a vampire policeman enter my house if they had a warrant?
So the basis of this question is that vampires cannot enter your home without an invitation. So
does a warrant
constitute an invitation? And
does it warrant one? Okay.
You're hilarious.
I don't think it does, because it is so the invitation, like, you can't invite someone to a place that you don't own, right? And the court does not own my home. They do not have the permission to invite people, they can only tell the police that you will not be prosecuted if you invade it, right? So I argue no. I don't think a warrant constitutes an invitation, and so I don't think a vampire policeman could enter my home with it.
What if the police so just for a regular human being, if the police showed up with a warrant, you are technically within the realm of possibility allowed to close the door. They could then enter by force. But if you were to deny entry, if you have a vampire policeman and you deny entry, then what is their alternative?
I don't think they have one.
I don't think they have one.
I think they're stuck.
Like I said, regular human, the police could just knock down your door.
Right.
Vampire police, if you say no,
I don't think they could.
I don't think they have another option.
Les, you're being awfully quiet here.
That's because I'm waiting for you guys to.
Leslie probably has a doozy.
Yeah, she's already found a loophole. I think John and I are on the same page, though. Like, does not constitute an invitation. I don't think it works.
So I have a couple things on this. So one of the big things, because the follow up to that was this question has divided this guy, whoever posted their friend group. The first thing you have to determine is which vampire lore is this question set in.
Fair. Is there any
that could take all day.
It could. Accurate. Are there any vampire lores that do not acknowledge the invitation?
I don't know. Does Twilight?
I've never seen it.
Neither have I.
I'm proud to say that.
I have. It's been many years. I wasn't paying that close of attention.
Is your wife still nearby? Ask her.
On the trip. You might hear a 4-year-old.
That's fine.
I like the 4-year-old.
So I am not aware of any vampire lore that does not include the invitation restriction.
I think actually True Blood does it.
I don't know. You've only seen half an episode. Can you be sure?
I said I think.
To be fair, it's half an episode more than I've seen. What else? What other points do you have? Because I want to poke hole in your points.
She says she doesn't think so, and that there's too much singing in Wicked.
Lies.
Say.
I don't believe she really said that. I'm pretty sure John is projecting.
Hold on.
Yes. Okay, so True Blood.
Is there too much singing in Wicked?
Yes.
Heather, if you're under duress, blink twice.
And make your husband turn the camera on, although we already got the answer. Hi, Heather, I miss you.
I have to turn on my permissions. I'll get kicked off with the whole thing.
So, Les, do you think vampires could enter with a warrant?
No.
Your justification?
Well, for one, it is not an invitation. But
no,
here's the other caveat, though. You can get around that by partnering your vampire policeman with a human policeman, because it is not necessarily the owner of the house that is always required to be the one to give permission. It can also be anybody who is in the house at the time.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're going to have to dig into the lore again.
So
have you read the Dresden Files?
I'm going to say, that's exactly where my head went with Dresden Files.
100%. Because I think the Dresden Files does a phenomenal job of explaining the threshold and like what constitutes a threshold and what can break a threshold. And like,
that's because Jim Butcher is a damn good author.
Jim Butcher is a world builder, a phenomenal world builder.
Yes.
And I would argue that like under the Dresden Files, if you have lore, if you have a home that is established as a home with a strong threshold, because there's people in there who love each other and have built a life in that home, I don't think a random stranger could come in and break that threshold. Right. Compared to, say, a hotel room. Well, wait. Compared to like a hotel room.
That's already public.
Exactly. Like there's no threshold there that would prevent the vampire from entering your room.
Right. So if we go with one of my other favorite vampire lores, which is the Buffyverse, it is shown that a non-resident of a house can invite and can extend an invitation.
I don't recall that. Cite your sources, madam.
Buffy invites
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I was waiting
Buffy
for
invites
Leslie to be
Spike
like,
into Giles.
episode 4.
Buffy into Giles's what?
House.
Into the house, not into like the library or anything.
No. Libraries doesn't count because it's a public space.
It's public space, right?
Which is why vampires can go into Faith's apartment, because even though it is an apartment, it is at a dingy ass weekly motel. So even though
threshold.
it is her residence, there is no threshold.
Exactly, no threshold.
So there's a lot of different pieces that can certainly be
caveats
and other fancy words that I like to use, but it has been shown in at least in one lore source that I know of that you can invite somebody else into somebody else's house, and thereby if you partner your vampire cop with a human cop, they serve the warrant, the human cop goes in first and then invites the vampire in.
Fascinating.
Does the vampire then?
But the warrant itself,
warrant is not what
does not constitute
not what grants it. Exactly.
The invitation
itself is not the end all be all. It's not the
yes.
Right.
I think we are all in agreement on that point. This is a really fascinating question. I'm gonna put a poll up on our social media. Listeners, check it out. Give us your opinion. What do you think? I'm interested to hear other opinions who know different parts of vampire lore besides us. Exactly. Thank you, Les. That was a great question. Okay. I have a question for everyone. If you were a pizza topping, what would you be and why? Oh God. Why are you evil giggling? There should be nothing malevolent about pizza toppings. Leslie.
Okay. What's my favorite pizza?
Am I supposed to know this?
Yeah.
John, do I know this?
You absolutely know this. You just don't know that you know it.
Les, what's your favorite pizza?
Hawaiian.
I understand why I blocked that from my memory.
She didn't think it. That was 100% going to be my answer.
So what topping would you be?
Pineapple.
Why? But why? It's the why I'm interested in.
Well, 1, it's delicious on pizza. 2, it goes with pretty much everything. 3, it annoys half of everybody, and the other half loves it.
There it is. I want to piss off half the world. I'm going to be pineapple. John, what does your instinct tell you?
Am I allowed to pick pineapple again?
You're not allowed to pick pineapple again. It has been taken. Unless you have a really good reason why.
Not a really good reason why. Get to annoy people and be delicious.
I'm trying to.
Well, while you're thinking, I'll explain. I want to be jalapenos because I'm spicy and I want to leave a lasting impression in your mouth. Bow chicka bow wow. Now Leslie is giving me a disappointed shake of the head.
Time out for you. No.
Are you talking to your husband or your son?
Both of them simultaneously.
Legit.
Let's see. I'm gonna say let's go pepperoni. Classic.
Everybody likes it. Universally enjoyed, except by the vegans.
Pretty much.
John, you are my pepperoni.
Well, it actually.
Fortunately, she sounds like she's asleep.
Indeed. So with that, dear listeners, I think we call it a night. Definitely go check out the Hunting You podcast on all of our social medias. That is, of course, Facebook at facebook.com/huntingyou, Instagram at Hunting University, YouTube at Hunting You, just the letter U, and of course our website, huntingyou.com. And if you want to follow along what's happening with the haunt, certainly go check out any of our social medias because you will find information there. If you want to find out about the haunt itself, though, that is at scehaunt.com. That is Sanguine Creek State's scehaunt.com. It's August. It's August 1st. We have, the first haunts are probably going to be opening in 4 to 6 weeks. It's crunch time. If you are not deep into building right now, you're behind. So let's get on it. That's what I will be doing. I hope that's what you will be doing as well. And we'll all see each other on the other side of the next couple of crazy months. From all of us here at Hunting You, happy haunting. If any of you put pineapple on your pizza, please don't ever tell me. Bye, everybody. We are incredibly grateful to all the sponsors who make this show possible, especially our premium sponsors, the Chamber of Haunters and VFX. You can learn more about our premium sponsors by checking out their websites at chamberofhaunters.com and vfxcreates.com. Check out our website at huntingyou.com for more information on everything that we do. Hunting You can be reached via Facebook at facebook.com/hauntingyou with just the letter U, or on Instagram under the handle at Haunting University, and YouTube under the handle at Hunting You. Hunting You is a production of Sanguine Creek Entertainment. All audio clips and sound effects are used under a Creative Commons Attribution or public domain license from Purple Planet Music at purple-planet.com or the Sound Bible at soundbible.com. Please see the show notes for more information on all the clips used in this episode.